Very good afternoon. Good evening, actually, to all of you. This is Dr. Manisha, working as a medical lead in Medical Affairs Division of Lupin. On behalf of my team, I welcome you all in this brief discussion on patient awareness program of Shealer. As we are aware that women are specifically vulnerable to the mental health problems, and we are always in search of various types of the therapies which can help benefit them in reducing their stress levels. So yoga is such one kind of therapy where we can by regularly practicing it, chances of getting reduction in the stress level is high. So, Lupin team has brought together all distinguished personalities in the psychiatry division on this forum to celebrate the International Yoga Day. And also, it is one of the ancient culture and ancient practicing therapy and commonly used to raise the awareness about its importance in women's mental health care. Today, joining with me in this session is Dr. Swati Singh. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Uh,
Ma'am, yes.
yeah, yes. Yeah. Hello, everyone. And thank you so much, Lupin team, for calling me here. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So here, basically, I'll be having some questions for you. So
Okay.
these are basically the yoga, related to the yoga. So, ma'am,
Okay.
can you throw some light on role of yoga practicing in women's mental health?
Yeah, sure. First of all, very good evening to all the viewers, and I'm very happy to get this privilege to be talking on such an important topic. And mental health awareness has always been limited, and there is more to be done in this field. And uh, getting opportunities like this is always very good. So I'll try my best to give some insight about, from my experience and my point of view about the yoga and its benefits in mental health, and particularly talking about women here. So, first of all, yoga is an exercise, basically what we understand, but it has a lot of ways. Actually, there is breathing exercises, and along with that, there are some postures to be done. And this together is known as yoga, not just the posture part, which is commonly believed by the population. So, when we do it in combination, the entire process is very much beneficial for mental health. And particularly in case of women, as we all know that the rates of depression, anxiety, and other neurotic disorder are very high in case of women. Also the stress, because the day to day activities, the kind of demands they have in terms of their family burden, as well as outside the house in terms of their work and occupation. So all this leads to a very large amount of stress in cases of women population particularly, and that is much different from the male population. And hence there are some special requirements for the women to go ahead and do things that can reduce the stress level in them. And often treatment or other practices may not be very readily available for them, one because of the time constraint as well as because of the monetary issues. And sometimes definitely because they are sharing such a large burden, they cannot have that much of opportunity that they can just walk out of the house and then indulge into something, maybe a gym or something like that. So yoga practices which are very readily available anywhere, can be done at home as well, and are very cost effective, come in handy for these kind of population particularly. And women have lot of benefits from these practices. First of all, it directly reduces the amount of stress. It is a very pleasant and very effective coping mechanism. So when a lady or a female is practicing yoga for a very long time, the level of threshold that is to stress increases, and that is why their response to stress improves. And as well as the level of anxiety decreases, because yoga on long term increases the production of GABA, which is a neurotransmitter in our brain, that directly decreases the excitation in the brain. And this, very simply talking, reduces the anxiety. Also, yoga on long term, because it can be done with people sitting together, a lot of the community involvement is a lot. That is why it also improves depression in patients. It has been seen. There are many studies, actually more than 100 studies I have come across, that directly say that the improvement in depression has been seen and a very significant amount of improvement has been seen in population who practice yoga. This being said, the treatment for these conditions are essential. But when a person is taking treatment in cases of severe depression, and along with that treatment, if yoga is being done side by side, then the improvement is rather seen very faster. And the chances of withdrawal of medication in this group of people is also seen, which is much faster than compared to the non-practicing group. So these are some of the benefits. Along with that, as we all know, yoga improves the reproductive health. So in cases of women who are suffering for infertility or other issues because of stress, who are unable to, maybe they have diabetes or hypertension or other health condition that are interfering with them conceiving with a child, yoga can help in those issues as well, along with the necessary treatment, and thus it can overall the outcome of pregnancy improves. So that is why it is particularly for women and women mental health, yoga has a very broad spectrum of benefits.
Thank you, ma'am. Very important and very nicely put together. And yes, ma'am, that's true. Actually, yoga, even though it is an ancient practice here in Indian culture, we generally neglect it only because it is not as well established like other therapeutic modalities in the treatment of psychiatric disorders, like other therapies which are very well established because of scientific evidences. But this is one therapy which is commonly being practiced, but generally ignored by many. So, what are your recommendations to such population set of patients? How do you recommend yoga therapy? Means, what are your important points to highlight for that?
Yeah, exactly. So, as like I said, that yoga has got a broad spectrum of benefits, so it must be done. But like any other exercises, it should be done under training. So, it's what I would advise is for any person to enroll into a yoga class, or if nearby there is a place where some trainer is available who is a good trainer. So they can just enroll into such classes and get a bit of training to start with. And once they have got the initial knowledge and how to practice, they can continue it at home. But initially at least a bit of training is required, because any exercise, whether it is normal your physical exercises we do in the gym or elsewhere, or it is yoga practices or any other kind of practices, it should not be done unguided. So once the person is trained and has the initial amount of training into the practices, they can easily perform yoga at home and continue it for a longer duration. That will be cost effective as well. And particularly in cases of pregnant lady, because yoga can be done in pregnancy, because the normal population, they believe that any kind of exercises should be avoided in pregnancy. But yoga particularly, there are some kinds of asana that need not be done. But other than that, there are a lot of safe yoga practices that under well training can be done in pregnancy. So pregnant female, whenever they are practicing yoga, which is very good for their pregnancy as well as the final outcome, they should do it under a proper trained person.
Great, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we'll be using these nuggets for our other, we are going to circulate such kind of information. This is so we are very thankful for you to share such kind of valuable information from your end, and thank you for even taking out time from your busy schedule and coming here and joining with us and giving us these important insights. So thank you very much, ma'am. Here,
thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.